Who's on here? Thanks for the thumbs up. I'm not gonna be on long, so I just wanna come on. I mean, I do have until 6 o'clock to get to work, but I'm gonna get there a little bit early because they have their little birthday celebration today. So I'm just gonna go to Amazon early. Not that early, but I'll get there about 5:30ish. So I have 30 minutes. But uh, let me tell you, I try to be positive about the things that people tell you, particularly when it comes to work environment. Yes, last night, let me tell you, ooh, you know what? I'm not even. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that story for another day. I already told Shelly Show. Now, basically, um, of course, yesterday, last night, they gave VTO, and for the last 2 days, it been VTO'd. Now, I just think that it's time for me to say, you know what? I don't want to. I'm I'm gonna look for something else. I mean, I'm gonna look for someone. Hey, Brooklyn, I'm gonna look for something else because when I went to transfer at the Stone Mountain location, I was told and I was warned. I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. It's a little bit chilly though. It's 71 degrees. Well, the temperature says 71 degrees, but it feels a little bit chilly outside. So I'm trying not to make myself mad and upset because um, I went to work yesterday and I tell y'all that I only met my so called manager when I first finished training. And I went there to the team, and the first thing she was like, "We ain't got no more steak." So she comes to me last night talking about she got complaints saying I was negative. If no, do I have something I need to say? I was like, no. If I have something to say, I'm gonna put mine in writing. Why are you coming to me in the way she came to me and says rude, aggressive matter? I'm not gonna tell you all today. I'm not. But basically, only reason why I'm not going to tell y'all right now is because I'm gonna go to HR. Not even HR. I'm going to go to the site director. They're not there on the weekend, but they're there during the week. So Monday, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to type out my issues that I've experienced with this so-called experience. You know, when I transferred over to Stone Mountain, I was warned several times about that I wasn't going to like it. I was told about you know, how they were from being disorganized. I could care less. As long as I'm clocked in, I'm still getting paid. But at the same time, they will also set you up. They would come up and say, "You were off task, you weren't working, blah, blah, blah." They'll play that little game. They really would. I've been through this before where you come to work and people, you know, things don't be working and you tell people and they act like they dismissive and want to like shoo you off. So anywho, I'm like, um, they basically gave VTO because it's like I'm not gonna say no work, but it's not a lot. It's not work to sustain you throughout the night or the evening, right? And then on top of that, you go to work and you're like, there's a certain protocol that you follow. You go to work, they give you a little sticker with your number. You go to your station and you go there, clean your station, do whatever. And then you stow whatever that you have, what they give you. So that's what I do. I come to work, I don't say nothing to hardly no one there. But these people basically think that, I don't know if they think you're supposed to kiss their ass, or they act like they could just talk to people all kind of way. You half my age. So many people are half my age, or whatever, and I don't like the way he talked to me. First of all, I don't even talk to most of these people in there. Zero. I say what I need. Can I get my number and move on? But then when you, but then when you don't do your job, and then you bring it to the attention to the site director, because that's what I did last Saturday. I'm not going to be belittled and talked down to and talk crazy to, because when I brought it to, I know that's where it came from. You know, you're going to talk to me. I'm not supposed to help you anyway. I'm not your manager. You need to go to your manager. And then when I bring it up to a site director to make a complaint because Amazon has a certain policy, then you're going to try to come back and run to my manager and try to complain, you know, and say, I didn't like the way he talked to me. Okay, so that warrants you threatening me. She calls him, she comes downstairs. I ain't heard from this bitch in, mm, I would say 2, 3 weeks. Not even 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I ain't heard from you in 3 weeks. You coming downstairs, can I talk to you? And then we in this hot ass hallway, and you talking to, you're not even talking to me. She talking down to me like she crazy. I said, no. If I have something, I'm gonna have mine in writing. I said, why you have me in this hot stairwell? No, you gonna let me talk, and then gonna walk off. No, I don't have nothing I need to say, because first of all, she is the problem. You a problem from day one, and I brought the attention to her about it. I said, I came to you from day one to say I'm on your team for the first day, and the only thing that came out of your mouth, we ain't got no station. You need to find a state. That's the first. I didn't even ask about no station. That's the first thing you come off to me in an aggressive, nasty kind of way. And when somebody asked me when I was doing a 3-day training, it wasn't really no training really. It was like, who's your manager? I said the person's name. And you know how when you say they kind of like don't really have nothing good to say. I should have known then, and I knew, and I picked up the clues from then. Well, she, they said, well, how is she? And because they gave me such an impression, and it was more than one person. It wasn't like, you know, opinion. It was kind of like a, like, you're gonna get some issues, but they, telling you without really telling you. So I said, you know what? I don't really have to deal with her. You know, if obviously going to the fourth floor has already been taken, I'm going to go to the next level and ask whomever's there where we needed me to go. But see, people, this is how immature these people are. They don't have no type of, they don't have, it's, they don't have no type of job skill settings or whatever. I don't know what it is. I think maybe if you stay at Amazon long enough, they'll promote you just to promote people if you could stay. If you stay, sacrifice staying, they'll, especially that this center has only been open for a year. Their anniversary 1 year is today. Well, they having a celebration. They had one early in the week, and then they have one today. So they only been open for a year. So if you came in there, brand new people for a year, you know, people came from other sites or whatever, they'll put them in whatever type of role. It's not, I'm not saying it's easy to be a manager or it's so simple to be promoted at Amazon. But see, Stone Mountain has already had this bad taste for people who work there, transferred. Even the ones when I went and left Brazelton, because I wanted to be closer to home. I wanted to be closer to home. I said, well, shoot, 5 minutes. I can leave my house right now. I'll be there in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I'll be there. But I said, no, all I'm going to do is go to work, you know, do what I need to do. I ain't got to converse with people. You know, nothing like that. You go in there, say what you need to do, and I go do my work, do whatever I need to do. And if someone have an issue about you know, stolen or whatever. They'll come to you in a little cart, you know. So I don't hardly say anything to anyone. Hey, Romeo. So last night, I voiced my concern to a manager. You know, I don't. First of all, I don't even think he even listened too much. I just wanted, you know, because I said, you know what, I'll go up there Monday. I'll speak to the director himself, and I will write my letter in my issues that I had because I didn't appreciate her come talking to me like that. And then she got the nerve. Then she got the nerve to be walking off. Well, you ain't got nothing to say. You know, that I just gotta walk off. But next time I hear someone complain, then I'm gonna I'll get to it, Romeo. I'm gonna finish my thought. So then I'm gonna voice my concern, and I also put it in internal transfer. So internal transfer means that rather than me be under that department, because this place is huge, I said, you know what? Let me apply for an internal transfer rather than me going back to Brazelton. And I put in um, two requests last night for a transfer. It's supposed to, they said the thing closed October 25th. So I'm hoping, I know I've been there 30 days. If it's not 30 days, I've been there at least 30 days coming up, probably this coming week. Because you can't transfer, you have to wait 30 days to transfer. So I, you know, sometime this week, it'll be 30 days. And then I'll transfer to a different department, doing something different. And I put the dates I put the dates like the same, like 6:30 p.m. until 5:30 a.m. the next. It was something like that. But they had some part time. Um, they had some several part time ones, like Saturdays and Sundays. But like, um, I want to say it's either 24, or is it 12 hours Saturday Sunday, or they had 10 hours. So I don't know. I put in an internal transfer so I could get under this person. I don't feel like dealing with her. I didn't like the fact that you barely said two words to me when I first met you, and then you're gonna come to me last night talking about who. I said what? You know, I asked her. I said what? I already knew who it was. You know, I don't know what you responding to with yo WTF. So then I'm a grown ass woman. You know, it ain't. It's not the route I'm doing is not, you know, becoming working in a warehouse associate is not going to get you into a upper tier technical position or whatever. That's a whole new division within Amazon itself. Whole new division. You know, if you well, you need to catch the replay because I'm not going backwards to tell what I'm talking about. If you came on with this if you came on when I was talking about it, you would know what I'm talking about. So so um so basically I'm just gonna do an internal transfer so I can stay closer to home. But um, all right, I'm gonna be blocking you. Here we go. Okay, we're not gonna come on here with a troll talking stupid. I'm not in the mood. Obviously, you smoke crack. That's why you on here. So anyway, so I'm gonna put a transfer in internally for a different department, and I'm trying to wonder if I should just go part time, but I don't want to have my weekends like Saturday and Sunday, even though it's part time, and be all day Saturday and all day Sunday and be part time. Then they are also saw they had where you could choose your schedule that you want. Like you don't have a specific schedule. What you have is a like you choose the days you want to work. So if you want to work these hours or these days, you could choose it. And it's like what they call it, flex. It's just like it's just okay. It's just like doing Uber Eats or Uber, where you know how you and I'm not talking about that's an independent contractor, but as an employee, you have an option where you could just choose your schedule, choose your days, and choose the number of hours you want to work every week. They also have that available. And the reason why I'm thinking about changing my permanent schedule and change the department is because I can't deal with foolish people. You know, all I want to do is come to work, give me what I need, give me the number, and let me move on. I don't get, you know, you don't even have time. You don't even have time to be talking with people. Just do your job. If I came to you and I said that the robotic system, whatever, is not working, I'll be there in a moment. And you never showed up, you never came. Don't be because you don't want to get off of 10 buckets that you're not supposed to be sitting on, and you don't want to get off your ass and do your job. Don't be coming up in here, you know, talking about I ain't like the way he talked to me. I only say 5 words to people when I get in there. One, I don't even say anything. You come, they come gather as a team, they give you your number, and then you walk off and you go to your number, and then that's it. There is no talking. So what are you talking about? Just because you now have to do your job, I ain't like the way she talked to me. Okay, so okay, whatever. But you feel that you could talk to me all kind of crazy. You feel that you could talk to me any all kind of way. You know, you're not gonna be like, well, I ain't supposed to help you anyway, and I'm not your manager. Okay, all right. So when I made a complaint about what you said, and then when the manager came on your ass, then you want to say, I ain't like the way she talked to me. Okay. Hmm. Like I told the director not the director when I told the night ops manager last week about how you're not getting any help, you know, and people just too busy you know, they're busy focusing on going to lunch. You only get 30 minutes. How you go to lunch for 30 minutes, leave, and then you clock out once you came back from Chick-fil-A or KFC or whatever the fuck they went to, and I heard you. I'm sitting here hearing you, stealing time. You and this other fat chick. But see, if I went there and told, and all people say, you're being a snitch. But see, let me tell you, people be, you know, I hate black folks when they go on that little snitch. You being a snitch. They don't give a fuck about you. If you turn around and you did something like that, they'll sit there and turn on you. They sure will. They'll sit there and turn on you, and they'll turn around and do the same thing. So don't get me there about nothing. Because see, people they will protect their ass and protect themselves first. They know darn well. They said I was standing here waiting for the manager and walked around. You walking almost a half a mile, 2 miles, looking for somebody, and then when you find them, they come back from their illegal lunch and going on doing stuff they know they ain't supposed to be doing. They're gonna be like, I ain't know. Um, it's gone on 10 o'clock. You ain't saying nothing to nobody. See, they'll protect themselves. See, they'll sit there and protect their job and throw you under the bus. That's why I don't, all that ain't be snitching. People will do that. Black people will put you under before anybody else. See, I did that to my regional manager about things. You know, see, in this time and age, You got to look out for yourself. Bump the notion about snitching and he didn't snitching, Mm-mm. Because let me tell you, somebody will sit there and lie on you. They will sit there and say stuff. Well, I ain't like the way she talked to me. Uh, um, she didn't do this and did it. They be quick to stick. They will be quick to act like they got amnesia and like you ain't tell them nothing. She ain't come to me. She ain't say nothing to me. She was off because see everything on Amazon is so computerized and tracked, and that they walk. All they do is walk around with a little laptop in there. Some of them be walking around with a little laptop, hold up a little big old laptop in their hand, and then you be asking, "Excuse me," it got the and then got the nerve on the shirt that says, "How can I help you?" on the back of their little smock. And then when you see them, no, it says leadership. How can I help you? That means if you're in a leadership role or position at Amazon and somebody asks for help, that means you're supposed to answer the question or help them. Not, I can't help you. Then what the fuck you wearing a damn jacket that says, how can I help you for? And then walk away. Like this one guy last night. I asked him, I don't know, you need to speak to your manager. He kept on walking. I went and told the man, whoever the manager on the floor is about the machine not working. He walking down again, not to come to me and ask me anything. Anybody help you yet? So I'm talking to the other guy. And then I ain't respond. If you didn't help me the first time I asked you, what the fuck you asking me if it's anything you could do, or did someone help you? And then he gonna and walk off. It's faggot ass. Sometimes you want to punch people dead in their fucking face sometimes. That's why people be, if I ask you 2 times, don't come back. You got anybody help? Don't know. First of all, you didn't even come to me. My back is turned to you, like I didn't see that you did. Fucking faggot. Sometimes, ooh, make me sick. This stupid ass. Fucking ignorant. I hate working with black folks at times. That's why now I know why people were saying it. Some people went over to Stone Mountain and then they said they're going right back to Brazelton. Several people. Now I was like, well, nope, I ain't gonna worry about it. I was like, no, I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna go to work, do my job, make sure I come to work, do whatever. That's it. I ain't got, it's too long of a night, 10, 12 hours to be there. You ain't got time to be talking to nobody anyway. You ain't got time to be talking to nobody. There is no conversation and talk. The only time they come over there, anybody talking to you at Amazon in general is when they come with that cart and they from the quality department and they coming in because the computer prompted them that you made 2 errors doing something or whatever, like stowing something incorrectly or something prompt them and then they'll play boop, then they'll come over there. Other than that, you know, just leave me the hell alone. Let me do what I need to do my job, and you keep on walking. But for her to come to me like that last night, talking crazy, and then I'm like, now you don't let me talk. Man, bitch, please. Now I'm really debating about working tonight. I was thinking about taking my unpaid time off and just chill because this is the last day of the week, and then I go back the following week on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'm trying to go to work today. I'm gonna go to work today. I'm already dressed to go and everything. I'm just it's kind of early, you know. So I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I really didn't. I really didn't give the juice of the issue. So anyway, enough of that foolishness because um I'm just going to see if they'll let me transfer to a different department, and you know I did look at that career choice, the thing what I was telling y'all about. I was trying to really stay for that, really, to be honest. But um I saw that in Georgia it was only really like 3 schools for the technical program, and for IT. So I said, well, dang, it's only help support, technical support. It wasn't even any advanced type of program. And they had University of Maryland Global Campus, but I'm not trying to go back to school to get a degree or a master's or nothing. I already have that. I just wanted to take a couple of training programs. So unfortunately, that tuition thing with the 100% tuition, and since I want to only go into IT, basically it's kind of productive because generation.org, the program I'm doing right now, is free. And I've also saw that I could study on Amazon, AWS, and there's other resources that's free that I could actually go to training. And then there's a lot of nonprofit organizations that's now being formed to try to skill people up in IT, particularly a lot. I've came across a couple of more organizations online that I saw that is no cost to you to do it. You just have to devote the time. So anyway, so let me move on from that rant about Amazon because that was a waste of 30 minutes. With two, well, I don't know what you're doing, Romeo. Just put it in the chat. So generation.org that I was telling you about, I was hoping that a couple of people came on here, but I'll probably talk about it again tomorrow or tonight. Generation.org, you do not have to be full time to do it full time, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. Now, as of yesterday, they're now offering more flexibility for you to partake in generation.org part time. So now you know if you're working full time, you can now do generation.org full time, I mean part time. And the only difference is it's like, for instance, the full stack Java program that I'm learning, rather than being 15 weeks, because I already started, so it's already been 3 weeks. Next week be 4 weeks. So now by it being part-time is rather than being 15 weeks to complete, it's now going to be 22 weeks, 15, 20. Yeah, they extended it like 5 weeks or so because it's now part-time. And you could do it part-time, 3 days a week. It's not all day, but it's 3 days a week, and it gives you the flexibility to now do the program without having to vote all Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. So you could still be working. Oops, you could still be working, and you can now do the program for free. You go to let me put the website, and then you just go through it and look at it. Generation.org. Now you could go there, click on USA, United States, and you could go and look through the various different programs you're interested in doing. But there are some other ones that I came across recently that was posted in Slack, and they also offered different programs like cloud, software engineering. Some of them even, one that I looked at even offered job placement, where once you complete the program, they'll also place you in a job or career with one of the sponsoring companies. And of course, you have to interview, do a resume. But I did come across a lot of those programs. And One of the things I'm starting to notice is there is a lot of emphasis of organizations being established, or it's been around for a year. Even when I did try to do one 5, 6 years ago, was um, um, Scarlar, Scahalis, one of those. It was based in the Bronx in New York. It was based. It started from in New York in the Bronx, and then they expanded nationwide, and then they had an online presence. They had one in Atlanta. They had one in New York. They had one in a few cities, and then they even had one online. But I had, you had to take a test. I took a test, math test, basic test, but then um, some of these programs they said, well, oh, you have to either not have a degree and all that stuff. But there's a lot of different organizations that's training people and upskilling people, because the goal is by 2026, 2030, they're trying to upskill millions of people in these unfulfilled careers that needs to be filled, because there is such a shortage of people in these industries that even having people in other foreign countries will still not be able to fulfill the jobs. And they trying to offer a lot of diversity in these fields and organizations. Because see, these nonprofit organizations, they get paid millions and millions of dollars in funding, foundations. Don't think because the word says nonprofit, it means they're not making a profit. It just means that they are a nonprofit organization under 413C, and they get funding. So remember what I was talking about in the other two videos about the student loan forgiveness. If you was working for a nonprofit organization or a government entity, and you could get your student loans dismissed if you had 10 years of on-time payments. A lot of those, if you establish, and if I was to establish a nonprofit organization, which based on job placement, training people in jobs, and um, you know, job placement and upskilling people, help people obtain the skills, that I could actually start a nonprofit organization focusing on that and get government funding and get nonprofit organizations and donations, private sector or public sector, to and start. You don't always have to be. I mean, start your own business. Start your own business. You could actually, you could either be a, start your own nonprofit organization. Now you do have to follow a. It's a lot of things you have to do to start. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me be back in a second. I have to go downstairs. think it's chilly. Ooh, it's cold. 71 degrees. I don't know why I feel cold natured. It's only seven. It says 71 degrees in this room, but I feel chilly. Dang. Anyway, I'm looking outside. It looks crisp. Once those leaves in that big tree in my front yard start to change color, I already got leaves on the ground, but it's not the leaves from the tree. It's from other people. All those leaves flowing. So I'm gonna have to keep on top of that because let me tell you, last year it was a doozy. So this year I'm gonna keep on top of it. I'm gonna start by mowing that grass and mulching that leaves. I'm gonna try to mulch them in the grass so when it gets colder and winter come, help fertilize the grass or whatever. But there's a lot of things I need to do. Anywho, y'all dropping off that quick, 3 down to 3 people. All right. So anywho, there's a lot of opportunities because with so many people being unemployed or a lot of people not returning back to work, um, a lot of people are underskilled because that's what it is. Underskilled. Even though what I'm working at now at Amazon is underskilled. That's an underskilled job. You know, I really think that the only reason why I'm working at Amazon is because I'm like, oh God, I could take advantage of whatever these benefits and stuff they got. But um that's really a small factor. But most of the time, to be honest, it's so easy to get on with Amazon. You don't even require other than just taking a drug test, you know, anybody could get on and then you just, oh, I need some money, you know, and that's it. I hear somebody, but I hear no. What they talking about? Anyhow, I was hearing notification, but I was like, who notifying me? I don't hear nothing. But anyway, so there's a lot of these nonprofit organizations. They're filling a void by training people in various different occupations that's in need of workers, and it's not just for young people. One of the things I have to realize is not everything is not always tailored towards the young. People who just getting out of high school or whatever. It's people who are transitioning to new careers. You know, um, seasoned people who maybe have skills that may be outdated or they can have skills that could actually be used in new technology. But the point is we're changing into a new different type of economy. We're not going to be an economy like it was. We're not going to be in companies that are hiring and the way how work will be in the future is going to be technology driven. It's going to be a whole new different type of way. The way how they do things, positions that you never heard of before will be existing. Um, it's going to be a field and there's going to be a need. And I know it's changing because even when they have these ads on Facebook and Instagram of how some of these schools, like for instance, Cornell University at Ivy League in New York, in Ithaca, New York, I was updating my resume because I had one of my assignments that's due at Generation is to upload your current resume. And I said, oh, I gotta finish my resume and update it. And I saw Cornell Tech. I was like, Cornell Tech, but it's Cornell University, so they have a technical. They're one of the colleges, NBA Tech, for 1 year. You go part of the year is in Ithaca, New York, and then they established a in New York City on Roosevelt Island. They have a campus on Roosevelt Island in New York, and you learning. You're getting a master's degree in technology. And I was looking at it. I'm not going. I'm not going to go. One to one, I'm not going back to New York. But if I was to go back to New York and I lived in New York, I probably would have done it, or just go up there for the summer, or go up there for those number of months. You know, if I was going to pursue another degree. But I'm not trying to go back to another. I'm not trying to go back to school and get another degree. Now once I have my foot in the door and I start doing these apprenticeships and start applying, that's what I need to be focusing on. Rather than me focusing on working at Amazon, dealing with bullshit people who think they doing something, think they could talk to people crazy. I need to be focusing on my learning and training. All I wanted to do, all I'm doing basically is for these short period of time, from October to December, October, November. I only got about 2 more months before I'm supposed to go back to Intuit TurboTax and start training. Because when I go back, the first week or 40 hours, I have to do the training for the new tax season. So I'm just killing time because I'm like, try to at least make a little bit of money. But I could actually make money doing my other gigs, survey, you know. So I'm not losing out on anything. But I'm not dealing. But so far, ever since I've been there, they've been having VTO and we got no work and you know I could stay. I don't have to take the VTO, but it doesn't come out of my time. It doesn't come out of my hours or nothing like that. And standing around and being sore on your feet and just tiring myself out because you know when I was working, let me tell you, when I was working those 3 days, 12-hour days, driving an hour and 15 minutes, come driving an hour back home, that was tiresome. By the time Sunday come and I get off that morning and finally get home, I'm sleeping all day Sunday morning, afternoon, into the evenings. And don't let me be doing some other gig work on Sunday. Then Monday, I'm pretty much doing the same thing, resting. It's like, you don't know, it could bring a big toll on you physically, physical toll. And that was when I was working. I was going to work every day, going in 3 hours. Going in 3 days a week. Traveling 3 hours total is traveling back and forth, working there 12 hours, walking almost 5 miles in that center because of my Fitbit. And it was rough. Let me tell you, it was rough. And you know, I didn't even finish studying for my enrolled Asian exam for my the TurboTax. They not, it's free for training, but I was like, dang, I neglected my damn training for TurboTax because I'm gonna still take that enrolled agent exam. I missed the first part. I was supposed to take the test um at least a month ago and I missed it. But now I gotta go to TurboTax and ask them for a another voucher so I could because I have to take 3 parts. So, but I've been studying. I've been so focused on studying with Generation. Look at all my notes. Let me tell you. Let me show y'all. See, I got all my notes and stuff, and I like it. I really do. I really like it. I'm learning website development, and I'm not talking about going on no dang um, WordPress. I'm talking about really learning and really developing websites. That's you know, it's a lot, I'll tell you, but it's very interesting. So if y'all want to look at generation.org, it is now part-time. You don't have to be full-time. You don't have to be there full-time because it's actually like 40 hours a week. Now they did it where you could do 15, 20 hours a week and it's part-time and um, you can still keep your regular job if you're working. So I know someone on here was interested, but they said they work. So hopefully I'll get to see them tomorrow in the chat and I could tell them, or y'all watch, or maybe you watch the video on the replay. You could skip my rant about Amazon and get to the juice of my information. Oh, I've been on here 48 minutes. It's 3 of y'all. All right. I don't know where the rest of y'all doing. I guess it's Saturday afternoon. Y'all out and about doing whatever. Who else is in here? Brooklyn, New York boy, what you been up to? Dang, I was keeping up the score with Florida versus LSU. So Florida lost. It must have been a good game because they only won by a touchdown. But I'm not really invested in any of those schools. So I didn't go to that school. I went to the University of South Carolina and they ain't doing too great. So Georgia, they number one. If y'all watch college football, I don't know. They number one, so they playing Kentucky. So I'm surprised Georgia is doing as well as it's doing. But they always do well at the beginning, and then towards the middle, they start to you know, lose a couple of games, and they never be in contentions on the championship. But supposedly they putting them down as one to go since Alabama lost, Clemson lost. They've been out of the rankings. So but anywho, I wonder if it's going to be any work tonight or they're going to offer VTO again. Shoot, they did it last Saturday, so I don't see why they've been doing it for the last 2 weeks. I don't see I don't see no different today. I should ask them straight up when I get there. Go to a manager, not that bitch that I was talking about, but maybe like one of the directors or whatever. They know. I said if they ain't gonna be busy, just there's only one person I probably go to. I said, if y'all got VTO to offer, I'm taking it. So don't even have to come to ask me. Just come to me, say they got it, and that's it. But I don't know. If those trucks came in this morning or this afternoon, and pretty much I don't feel like just standing around for all those time. Do that little bit. Yeah, I could quickly get it over with and be like, boom, boom, boom. Let me hurry up. And but they take so dang long to go to lunch. It's like you come in at 6 o'clock. Then you're like, well, dang, what time you going on break? It's like 10 o'clock. That's your first break, and it's 30 minutes because they different. They do it differently. You get 30 minutes, 30 minutes lunch, which you have to clock out. Then you get a 30-minute break again, and then you get the last 15 minutes. Whereas the other location, you get a 15-minute break, 30-minute lunch, and then you get two 15-minute breaks. Yeah. So whereas this one, they combine, they get the 30-minute lunch first, then the 30-minute break, and then you get a 15-minute. So not to say that I want to do 15-minute, break it up 15 minutes, because by the time you walk to a break room or find some place to sit down, I guess maybe that's why they did it. I don't know. Who knows? Why companies, or I don't want to say companies, it's basically sites. I just know one thing. I never thought it was going to be that the things that I heard and was told was true. The things that I heard, it is true. As long as they leave me the hell alone, I'm gonna go there tonight. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. Don't say I ain't gotta say shit to nobody. And then when those managers and stuff pop up there, cause I come tell you, Monday I'm voicing my concern. You're not gonna talk to me like that. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be spoken to. You know, come looking at me cross-eyed. I should have known even from day one. You know, I didn't even speak to her from prior to training. So many people, boy, you give them they think because they got a little leadership with that ugly ass vest, you know, because your vest is yellow, you got leadership that no leadership qualities, none. They ain't got none. Shoot, your time is not no more important than anybody else. I don't know why people don't learn. That I mean, Amazon is the biggest. As big as that company is, they replace people like that. And don't let those see. They got these little commercials they be trying to post now on Amazon about people. Oh, I just love Amazon. We do promote from within. They have their little cute little commercials they put on YouTube and social media, and it's cute. It's cute and all. Don't get me wrong, but it depends on where you at. I really believe that it depends on the site where you are. If you got a messed up culture at a particular site, because every day they ask questions when you log on, they ask these questions. And it was so ironic that I said, why is it when I drive up here, they got trash? People be eating food and Chick-fil-A, and they put trash all along as you drive into Amazon. They got trash and garbage all along outside parking lot. I mean, I was like, it ain't like a couple piece of paper here and there. I'm talking about you driving up and people just got all kind of garbage and stuff. I said, you know what? I said, I thought they have a cleaning crew or cleaning that come out here and clean. I live in the area. I don't want to I live in it. I'm a homeowner. I don't want to be, you drive to your neighborhood 3-4 miles away and you driving up and you see trash all over the place looking all crazy. I was already opposed that they open up that damn facility in Amazon anyway because of property taxes and the tax breaks. Even though it's technically in Gwinnett County, DeKalb County has some input into that too, but they build it anyway. You know, they built it anyway. But that same day when I had mentioned about it, I get a questionnaire that popped up about the cleanliness of your concern. I was like, why the hell these? I said I had just mentioned this, and then I get a questionnaire on my computer screen to ask me to take a survey about it. It was so weird. I was like, you know, And then I do get questions about the manager. How do you think so and so and so is? I say zero, not zero, but it's not 0 to 5. But I'll be a negative, nope, negative, nope, 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 nope. I don't know if they've shared that with people because when they ask you questions about your manager, do you feel they did treat you as a number? I'm like, do you think she this, that, or whatever? Nope. I don't know if they get that feedback or not. Or did they just ask these questions just to be asking these questions? But I'm gonna give an honest answer. I'm not gonna skip it. I'm gonna answer it. So I don't know if they evaluate people based on um, when they ask team members about how do you think about this manager, about your manager, do they do this, do that, whatever, whatever, and you get negative responses, and you get so many negative responses, does that basically impact them? I want to know. I'm curious. And if it do, it needs to be known. You know, it needs to be known. See, a lot of these jobs and companies now, they have all these influx of people resigning, leaving, going, leaving. Because at this time, environment now, you can't say you can't find a job. Amazon ain't the only place to work at. Trust and believe it's not. There are a lot of places that's hiring, whether it be, and it's not necessarily retail and working in the restaurant and all that kind of stuff. It's working from home, call center. Um, it's several different position openings, and even in the IT sector. That's why I was telling y'all that a lot of these nonprofit organizations are in existence is because they trying to fulfill the need. There is a need for IT tech support, um, iCloud engineers, software engineers. It's so many. I can't even name them. I can't even name all the different career options. But there's so many opportunities to train and to learn. And you take advantage of those trainings and learning. Even I spoke to one guy today. I was in that office, getting me some biofreeze and I was asking. He was a young guy. I mean, he was like maybe 30ish. I don't know, probably about 30ish. And he said he got out of the military, and I said, well, what do you do here? So he's not like any type. I don't have any type of medical credentials. He was more so that he supposed to implement the policies in regards to the health or something. I don't know, but that's what he does. So I said, well, have you ever thought about taking advantage of the career choice in the programs they offer? He said, nah, I ain't like school like that. So I was like, okay. Well, I said, you ain't got to go to school and get a degree. You can still learn a different trade. When I was in the military, and so I said, okay. I said, it's not about liking school and this like that. It's about upscaling your skills. You don't necessarily have to go to a school. You could do a training program, get a certificate, learn something to upgrade your skills. Because let me tell you, black folks in particular, we're going to be left behind as a group, not individually. I ain't going to be left behind. I'm sorry. I ain't going to be left behind. But black folks in general, they're going to be left behind. And when they say, oh, there's no jobs, oh, we can't, they're going to be the most struggle. If this economy goes down as people, as it's going. Now, right now, I don't know. People are baffled because it's like unemployment is like under 5%, 4 point something percent. Um, hey, Shelly, Shell. So unemployment is like under 5%. There are millions of jobs that's unfulfilled. They said it was 13 point something million people resigned. That's why they call it the Great Resignation. And I'm not talking about people resigning from these little deadbeat jobs either. I'm talking about high industry across the board. So many companies are struggling to hire people. Now, the restaurants and stuff like that, pretty much If they can't hire people or whatever the case may be, some of them have to close down, some of them have to reduce the hours or whatever the case may be. Hire people, get people in the corporate job. It was that one place called, what's that dang chicken place? It's supposed to be really, really good. They don't have it in Georgia. They hire those people from the corporate office to work at the restaurants. So they told them, nope, y'all gonna be going out in the restaurants working. What's the name of that dang place? I know they had it in California. I know they have it in Louisiana. I think the corporate office is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Some chicken place. Y'all know what it is? Let me know. I can't remember the name of it. Ugh. Hmm. I could see the name, but I can't even. Dang, I can't think of the name. Anyway, that ain't that no say no. But then you have to think about there are a lot of people like my mother's age, that next generation. A lot of people are due to retire. A lot of people are already reached their age they're retiring. So even though there's a lot of issues with the supply chain and inflation, things going up and all that kind of stuff, you know, unemployment's low, but yet there's high unemployment of unfulfilled jobs and positions. It's just going unfulfilled. Everybody ain't starting their own business. Um, a lot of people transition to other industries, and a lot of positions has been 1099 or gig work. So a lot of positions are like, they're not employees, but they are independent contractors. There are a lot of people who are skilled. They starting to source themselves out themselves, not necessarily going through and working for a gig job or gig company. They got this company called Upwork. You could actually, like, if I was in IT and I was skilled as a web developer or iCloud, there's some people they don't even work for one company. They just say, okay, they hire people to work a project. They work the project for a month or 9 months. They get paid a lot of money to do it, and that's it. They just move on to the next project. So a lot of people are scrambling and competing for talent. A lot of companies are competing for talent, and they don't have enough people. Even the ones if you go internationally, you wouldn't even because there's international companies in Europe. They need people too, you know. So I'm not saying everybody should go into be IT and software development, but learn something. Even if it's not something, if you're not going in software development, even just learning a software language like Python. Even if you work in customer service, if you work as a sales support, or you work for a nonprofit, profit organization, you run your own little chat group. If you learn something basic, like even like Shelly Shell, you doing the Google, and if you don't have any knowledge and skills in learning Excel and doing Google Sheets and all that, I started figuring out a lot of things that was in the Google that I was like, man, I knew I said I could learn this part of Google and do an app. I could learn to do an app just by going on Google and developing a little app. You know, there was a lot of things. So, because Google is a major browser. Everything that run on the internet is going to either run on a Chrome, which is Google, Linux, and everything on the app, the iOS, Android, everything is running on some type of technology platform that they're going to need people to. service, manage, write, code, debug, secure, cybersecurity. You don't have enough people in the world to even fulfill that. Some companies and organizations are delayed because they don't have someone to manage the iCloud. They can't even get on it because they don't have anybody to do it. So they in just desperate need. So while I'm doing this program now, I'm learning and I'm gonna learn something new too. I'm gonna learn web development, and if I don't find a job right away, we have to be realistic. I may not find something right away, but I could at least, let me tell you, on my whiteboard in my room, 3, 4 years ago, I wrote about starting my own tax consulting business and web development. I wrote that 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. It's 5 years ago. I wrote that 4 or 5 years ago. I wrote that. I sure did. I could even bring it and show y'all. Let me ask fact. I'm gonna bring out and show. Let me get it. I'm gonna show y'all. I've been wrote this out. I'll be back. Let me get my whiteboard. See, look. I wrote this a few years ago. This is not recent. Y'all seen it? Oh, it's dusty. See, look. Career goals. I wrote this 5 years ago. 1. Learn HTML/CSS and develop first website. GrownWomenCanCode2.com. Rejoin Toastmasters and hold an office. 3. Join networking group Girls Develop It. I did that. I did accomplish this. I did accomplish number 1. I'm doing number 1 right now. I accomplished number 3 because I did go to a meet. I did go to this meetup group, Girls Develop It. Start consulting business that focus on tax preparation, business development, and web design. So I'm doing number 1. I'm doing number 4, and I did number 3. I did 1, 3, and 4. Number 1, I'm still working on. Number 4, I'm still working on. Number 2, I did join Toastmasters, but after the let me put this down. I'll put that back in the room later. So I did go to Toastmasters.com. And when the pandemic thing happened and shut down things, a lot of the groups, they used to meet for an hour and a half. So I didn't go back on there. I haven't gone back on the website and see if they had resumed Toastmasters again, but I will join Toastmasters again. Toastmasters is basically like a nonprofit organization. You meet at either at your job or church, and you practice speaking, public speaking, like you do speeches. Um, you may do roundtable discussions, and it's pretty fun. They have national competition, international organizations. It's a great organization to join. I'll tell you that. And it helps you speak. It helps you in your public speaking. Um, and I joined the chapter when I was working at the IRS, and I was a member there for at least a few years. We had a small group of employees. We met every Thursday. It was fun. Matter of fact, I wonder if they still hold their Toastmasters meetings at IRS, because if they do, I could actually join back and then I could join in. So, I could sign in as a guest. I would like to see if somebody's there and still kept the chapter going. It was fun. We had a Christmas party. We did a little Christmas party. We all met at the restaurant, and it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. That was one of the best things that I ever did, and I was active too. Every week we would have, I want to say, was it weekly or was it monthly? It might have been weekly or every 2 weeks. I can't remember. It was fun. I still got my booklets and materials right there in the garage. So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna look it up tomorrow because with that pandemic thing happened, a lot of places they couldn't meet, and I don't. I mean, they could do virtual, but I don't like doing virtual. I like to come and meet people face to face. You could do speeches and stuff, but that you could do speeches, but I don't know. I'm gonna see. But if anybody wants to, and you just pay a small little fee. You pay for the books, um, the monthly fees. You could deduct that on your taxes. Anything dealing with personal development, professional development, subscriptions, magazines. If you itemize, you could actually. Oh, let me take that back. Did they change that? Mm. Yeah, if you do it if it relates to your business and you independent contractor, self-employed, you could deduct those subscription fees if it's related to your business. You can't deduct job related expenses anymore. And that's not really considered a job related expense. But if it's something that helps you improve in regards to your business, you could deduct subscription fees and membership fees to organizations. Unless the IRS decided to go back and let people deduct that again, but you used to in the past. But um, it's great to join different organizations for networking, um, help in terms of communication. Because one of the things, generation, they teach you soft skills, but one thing, they teach you soft skills in communication, but there's a difference between developing your skills, dealing with people, teamwork, but in terms of helping you or develop in terms of how you speak, that's something you need to you may want to start joining an organization such as Toastmasters, because you may have to, it helps you with interviewing skills, communication skills. It helps you speak in front of people. If you have to do a team meeting, it helps you with communication, how to communicate in a team setting on various different settings. See, and half those dumb people up there at Amazon call themselves leaderships. That's what they need to take. Some of them, most of them, I start to encounter. They need to start taking some personality adjustments. I mean, I'm not saying I have the best personality myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm still learning that sometimes I have to learn to cope when dealing with foolishness. See, that's my problem. I can't deal with foolishness. You know, but at the same time, but one thing you can never say about me, I know how to communicate very well. I may not like teams building too much. I mean, I like to work. I could work in a team, but I have to learn how to cope with dumb, stupid stuff. That's my thing. I have to realize everybody's not always going to think the same. Not even think the same way. It's not even about thinking the same way. Everyone is not going to be at a certain level that I'm going to be. You know, everyone's not going to be at that same level. And one thing I notice about people, that's why I said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to go to work. I ain't got nothing to say, Let people do what they want to do. Like they like to tell, like two of them tell me, I'm grown. I pay my own bills. I'm grown. That ain't got nothing to do with being grown. Is not have nothing to do with you could pay your own bills because someone gives you advice about something. You know, if this one girl, if this one, you know what? And I think about it. You know what? I'm gonna stop not giving a fuck. I told this one. I said, "Girl, why you leaving at the middle? Of the, leaving at this time of night? It's dangerous. Girl, you better not be. Girl, I'm grown. I know people ain't, bring that conversation. Yeah, she trying to tell me what to do. See, that's the problem. People act like I ain't like the way she talked to me, and then you don't even tell a person the conversation. You just telling people I ain't like the way she talked to me. You know what? If your mama didn't give a damn about you, then I shouldn't be giving a damn either. Your old mama didn't give a damn. My mama don't care. I'm a stranger. I'm a stranger, and it's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the two. Not even 4 o'clock yet. It's 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You talk about I'm leaving, and then you talking about you living on 45, 50 minutes away on the bad section of Atlanta at that. And I said, girl, don't be leaving at that time of night. And you tell me you ain't got no gas. You gonna stop at a gas station. And you talking about stopping around Stone Mountain. I said, that's dangerous. Girl, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be okay. I'm grown. If you took offense to something like that, so be it. So be it. I'm like, you know, I heard that like three different people. I'm grown. Okay, fine. You grown. People just, so I just, this working with a whole, not even a generation back, because I'm Generation X. Um, the other generation is really not that far off. What they call it is Generation X, um, millennials. I used to always be going down about millennials, but see, the oldest millennial is 40 years old. The oldest millennial person is 40. I'm 52. That ain't that 10 years, 11 years, it ain't that much big difference between um, Generation X and millennials. Millennials is like um, 29, maybe the youngest is 29, 30, or something like that. I know some of y'all like to correct me, so that ain't true to write me a whole book. I could research that, but I'm just trying to make a point. Even then, generation millennials rather, that ain't that young, but it ain't that old. But at the same time, it's the other generation before that is the one that's getting my freaking nerves. The ones that's now um 18, younger, 20s. That's the one. Those are the ones. Those are the ones that make you want to punch them dead in the mouth. Those are the ones. Um, those are the ones that act like you can't tell them nothing. And then if you tell them something, I ain't like the way he talked to me. So even my own relatives, even though they'd be my second cousins, that little age group. I ain't saying most of my cousins are foul mouth and and act all kind of crazy, but um some of them be trying to get there. They sometimes they be trying to push it, and then my aunts and them were like, "Oh no, you don't bring that badass girl, or don't bring her over here no more, or she better not come over here." Because some of them stuff be disrespectful. I ain't gonna say all of my little cousins, but there's some of them they be trying to get a little bit, they didn't get no beatings and stuff with the switch and get the beatings like that. They ain't been disciplined like that. So they got that mouth. I don't even consider that my vision board. That's something on my whiteboard. I don't really want to, you know, it's good to have, but a vision board is only good if you use it. A vision board is only good if you implement it. Anybody have a vision board, be cutting up papers and making little posters and stuff and putting. But if you don't implement it, that ain't nothing more than junk on the wall. Until you implement it and do it, that's what's important. And it don't have to be a vision board. You can write it. You can write it down in a book. Sticky note. Just write it. But as long as you implement it and take action steps. See, a lot of times people get so hung up on vision boards, but oh, it's good, but they're not implementing it. You have to do it. Action with works. Action without works is not faith. If you don't have no action with it ain't no good. It ain't no good. So it's good to have, but you got to implement it. And like I said, oops, I wrote that out 5 years ago, and it took me a minute to really do it, but I've done it. The one I showed y'all, number one, the first one, I'm doing that now. I'm learning, but I've been learning that for years. Since I've been on YouTube and was talking about my gig work and YouTube videos, I've been learning that. I was learning that for years. It's just now it's more formal and um, it's starting to come together. I said, okay, I remember I learned this, and now it's starting to make more sense because the way it's being done in a classroom type of setting and self learning. I'm still majority of the learning at generation. You're really learning on your own. It is enforced when you come together with the instructor and the TAs, and they're there if you need help. So if you need help, they're there to help you. That's the difference. Whereas before, when I was learning it, I didn't have any way to help. I could go on the forums, I could go online, I could Google it and try to figure it out myself. But it's not really the same when you have somebody there to actually show you and explain to you better. You can read it, Google it, try to figure it out yourself. But um, I always done my the number one, learning CSS and HTML. I've been learning that, and I started to learn it on my own and started. But the thing is that I was learning it, then I stopped, got preoccupied because I was working this job, that job, this gig, this whatever, working two jobs. So I kind of stopped um, learning, because I was doing so many different things at one time. That's why I said I'm just gonna go to work, you know, work at Amazon, do whatever, and when as it gets closer to November, and that's time for me to go back to TurboTax, and then it'll be time for me to switch my gears and start learning the tax laws and learning tax procedures and everything else. Go back and pick up my enrolled agent exam book that's sitting downstairs, all highlighted, and start learning that. I'm gonna still learn Generation X. Don't get me wrong, but I need to really start breaking out my schedule, like really, setting out time to start studying. Because one thing when I go back to work at TurboTax, it's going to be I have to do a lot of training in that December 11th. December 11th, I have to complete the training and the refresher to get my first part of my bonus. So the first part, they give you the bonus broken up into three parts. The first one is complete the first part of training by a certain deadline. So I got to finish that. Then the second part is when you start and then you work the minimum hours. And then the third is completing the tax season. So I'm trying to get that enrolled agent credentials by next year, because if I get that, I get a pay increase and I also get a higher bonus. So, but I'll be learning both things, the taxes and then the website development, because it's going to come together, intertwine together, because I'm going to be doing my own website, my own personal website, and my own and projects that I'm going to be doing. So, and TurboTax actually has a web development. They have IT. Every company, small, big, nonprofit, in between, they all have an IT department of some sort. So, even when I go to TurboTax and I look at careers, and they say they need someone in this development, blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. The fact that I have the business side of it already, I could also bring in the technology side and put them together. So trust me, I'm not. It is an advantage for me to be learning business, taxes, and but the technology part and putting it together. You need data. Everything in IT is not always technical. You also have to have the business acumen as well. You must have that. And what's the point of writing code or doing software development if you don't understand the product? If I see the fact that I understand TurboTax product and the tax code and the tax law, I can write a program and say, you know what, I have an idea and this is what I have, that I think will make the program or the software better, you know, because it's a lot to do with analytics and it's a lot to do with teamwork and communication. Every person in IT is not a software developer who write code. You could have an understanding of learning to write code by learning certain software programs. But there are also other fields that one can enter. If you have a knack for sales, they got IT sales. They got people who are project managers. All they do is implement a program. They got the people who are the artistic side. They learn Unix, UX, they do the color, but use the physical um, front end, back end developers, um, data analytics, people who keep track of numbers, statistics. Um, it's so many. And if you look at social media, they got a what is the position? Social media um, consultant. They they actually help people. Well, on their social media, they manage people's social media accounts. Social media managers. Who ever heard of that? I'd never heard of that. You would have never heard of that 10, 15 years ago. People they so proficient on Instagram and Facebook and all these social media, TikTok, and all they do is manage people social media. There's some people. There was a person now. She did a house sit company. This is black woman. I can't remember her name. Y'all look it up. But I don't want to, promote other people's channels like that. But she started a YouTube channel and she started a business house sitting. She goes around to different parts of the country house sitting school. And let me see if I can Google it, house sitting. And she did training and YouTube videos about that, started a house sitting school. She made a channel. And every month she tells how much money she make on the Google AdSense. Man, she said she makes like 20,000. Did she say 20,000? Whatever the amount it was, it wasn't no um, chump change. She said she makes money on the Google AdSense of like $15,000, $20,000 a month, and from the fact that she promote the company that she developed, House Sitting School, she makes money on that. On top of the Google money, on top of the YouTube money, she makes money from the business she started. I was like, God dang. And and then she did so she was talking about this in the last couple of months. And she don't have, let me see. Dang it. I'm gonna have to I'm just giving an example of one person. And then she started a class on her YouTube channel. She said that she had this how to grow your own channel. She started um she's gonna have this thing on YouTube where she helps other people to grow their YouTube channel. And you click on the link in her description, and she will guide you in terms of how to grow your YouTube channel. You have to pay a fee because you know what? Everything ain't gonna be free. And that's one thing I'm learning not to do. Offering free advice, especially when this type of advice that people get when it comes to taxes, you have to pay a CPA or someone for those type of assistance. So I'm not doing no free. Oh, everybody is trying to milk you to death. People will milk you out of information. You know that's time. That's time. That's resources that I have to learn, that I have to take my time. So I said, you know what? That's why I'm so excited in terms of really transitioning from my new adventures, you know? So I'm not doing no free tax advice. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna I'll answer general questions, but I'm not really gonna start really doing all that. So some people they be just looking on YouTube just to get free advice. No, because let me tell you, a lot of y'all gonna start getting notified from the IRS, especially if you've been doing these gig jobs full time and you ain't been really paying. See, people ain't really been paying their quarterly estimated taxes the way they're supposed to. The only reason why the IRS ain't said nothing about it is because they backed up and they behind. But don't think they're not gonna notify people. Shoot, they be notifying me for all I know. You know, I worked in that department. That was my first one of my well, that was the second job, but the first one was working in the mailroom. But the second one was doing the estimated tax quarterly, um, updated quarterly estimate tax records online and sending those letters. That's what I was. That was my second job that I did. So, and there's a time frame that the IRS can assess any taxes and penalties. They have a 10-year tax period that they could do it. They could assess it. That's the law. So, you know, I see a lot of videos they be being made, and people be trying to make up YouTube videos, and they getting clicks and views and getting monetized. And some people they're truly legitimate um, tax consultants and CPAs, and they say okay, and then their videos they say click on the link to make an appointment about discuss. So I'm not a CPA. I'm not a certified public accountant, but I'm a tax consultant, tax expert, and I could do people's taxes, make appointments. You don't have to live in the state that the person live in to do the taxes. I know one person, Tita Talk, she was thinking that, you know, you had to go and get the person who lived in the same state they lived in, and something she was saying. I said, you don't have to. I mean, if the person has a local office and you go to them, give them their records, that's fine and dandy. But you don't really have to, I could do anyone's taxes, federal tax return, state tax return, regardless where you live. And all that could be done remotely. If you want to meet me local, if you live local. If you live local and you lived in Atlanta or Metro Atlanta, I'll meet you somewhere. And if you want to, if you need help doing it yourself, even if you did it yourself at home, and people need help navigating through the TurboTax or Tax Act or whatever, and you wish to do it your own, and you want to get like a free, not a free, you want to get checked and see if you do it right, because a lot of times people don't realize they be missing out a lot of deductions that they're entitled to. Or if you go and if you get the software TurboTax, I'm not talking about the basic return, just you just got two W-2s and that's it. You You just type it in or take a picture with your phone, let the system do everything. If you got a basic return, you don't have no other schedules involved, you don't really need, you could do that yourself. But if you have Schedule C, Schedule A, and you got rental income and you have investments, which is Schedule B, you have all these things going on. The more forms you have, the more it's going to cost you. The more it's going to cost. You people be buying trade on Cash App on the stocks, and and they don't understand when you get a Schedule B, you're supposed to report the cost basis of the stock. If you don't know what cost basis is, and you don't know how to put it on the Schedule B, you don't, even though you could type it in the computer in the software, but it's more than just typing it in. If you don't understand cost basis and how that works and how it's calculated and why you're going to owe and what if you don't report it and people say, well, I got it, but I didn't do nothing about it, and you get a letter in the mail. See, a lot of people going to be getting letters on the reporting of income, CP 2000. They're going to get letters in the mail. They can't, they get the letter. They don't read the letter. They don't read it all the way. Somebody else did the return. They get a letter. They don't know, or they ignore it, or they don't even respond. It's a whole lot of scenarios that happens with people. And I'm just letting y'all know. You know, just like I mentioned, and I'm gonna say this one last thing, then I gotta go. I got 2 more minutes. Like I was telling people, if you did Uber Eats and Grubhub and 1099 and you was doing the gig work and you didn't get no stimulus, not stimulus, you didn't get the ELE grant, not PPP loan, but the grant itself, and no one mentioned about you could possibly see if you qualify and they didn't say anything, and then you find out after the fact. And then some people says, well, because some of y'all did it wrong. Some of y'all was talking about, when I try to do the PPP loan, it says I only qualify to get $100. Y'all didn't do it right. Some of y'all didn't do it right. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all, but it's too late now. Unless they decide to exhaust the funds out and they do something and they make some changes where people can still qualify for the last go around to see if they can get the ELE grant. I know they got an SBA loan, but that's something totally different. So I don't know. Some of y'all didn't really qualify for the ELE grant because y'all didn't do enough in the gig work anyway. So, when they say, oh, they made about a couple $100, you wouldn't get it. You're not going to get it because you didn't make enough and you didn't do it long enough, and it had to be a certain period of time. But I went over that already. So anyway, it's 5:00. Let me go on to this place. Hopefully there'll be no foolishness going on. And if y'all see me come back later tonight, that means they offered VTO again, and I'm just gonna change my schedule and put in an internal transfer to a different department and a different time frame and choose one of those schedules where I get to choose when I want to work. So I may end up doing that because when tax season comes, I'm gonna be too busy, and I know I can make way more money working full time, doing TurboTax, and then do overtime. And I can't be spreading myself thin like this. That don't make no sense. It's not efficient. And I'm just working because I'm trying to keep myself busy until I go back to work. And that's not a reason to be working like this. So, all right, I'll talk to y'all later. If I don't talk to y'all tonight, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow on Sunday. Y'all have a good night. Talk to you later.